There I go. There I go. What's up, man? How y'all doing? Today we got a interesting episode, man. An interesting pregame show. The Dallas Mavericks are taking on the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson, home return, first game in Dallas since he has departed the Mavericks. Interesting game tonight. No Luka Doncic. Grant Williams is available. Y'all see my apartment back here, man? Y'all see it? We're going to have a special guest here tonight, man. If y'all know him, y'all know who he might be. He's a big-time New York Knicks fan. Uncle Freezie of Blow Orange Tears, man. As soon as he gets here, we're going to bring him up. But before we bring him up, we got to go up to the apartment, man. So let's go ahead and let's go up there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy TGK, and this is also your official Dallas Mavericks pregame show. Again, today we're going to have a special one, man. And before we get all the activities and all the festivities started, let me go ahead and just make sure everything is looking right over here and get some background music going. And we're about to bring up our special guest, man. Special guest here, none other than the homie Uncle Freezie from Blow Orange Tears. What's up, Uncle Freeze?
Hey, what's up, boss man? How you doing?
How you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm excited about this game tonight, man. You?
I bet you are.
Yeah. I'm excited, man.
How's the how would I put how would I say this? Well, first of all, thank you for coming on to the show, man. Appreciate it very much.
It's a pleasure. It's my pleasure, bro.
It's a long time coming, man. I know we could always collab, but it's always special whenever it's like our teams playing each other. So this is real dope.
Right.
Appreciate you being here, man. And I guess the first things, what are your initial impressions of this game before we get all into the nitty gritty details? Like, what is like some kind of surface level impressions? What to look for Knicks fans going into this game against the Mavericks?
So I'm gonna say, to all the Mavs fans and the Knicks fans, relax. It's January for one. For one, it's not a game 7, right?
Right.
You're right. So relax. And so usually this is kind of like a measuring stick game, right? To see how good or where your place, how good are you and your place in the NBA, kind of. But with Luka being out, with Dallas having a lot of guys that are game time decisions, in my mind, it's more, if you're Dallas and you lose, it's more of a schedule loss. If you're the Knicks and you win, then you're fortunate that Luka, is missing this game, because in my opinion, Luka is by far the best, most talented player in the NBA. And anytime you face teams with guys like Luka Doncic, you have to bring your A game, right? So if you're the Knicks, you're kind of fortunate that Luka is not able to play, even though, the other Dallas Mavericks will still get game checks, right? So you can't can't just throw your jersey out there. And if you're Dallas, man, look, you're gonna have Luka most NBA players are gonna miss a game here or there, and whether you win it or if you lose it is not an indictment on who you are as a team.
I appreciate that, because if you were to ask me or even probably several other fans, it feels like the sky's falling a little bit, because you lost to a team in the Memphis Grizzlies that you had absolutely no reason to lose to when you had a Luka and a Kyrie out there. It was just very unfortunate kind of loss, and it got real toxic as a Mavs fan on every social media place you could think of. So
really,
yes, man,
toxic
Very
fans
toxic.
in Dallas. I would have never had guessed that Dallas fans of Dallas sports could be toxic. I would have never had put those two together.
Yeah, man. I mean, you do know we're in the same city with the Cowboys, and this is like the unknown Sin City, it's an unknown one.
Right.
But no, yeah, we had a rough outing against the Memphis Grizzlies, and it was just rough all around. But if you don't know, Freezie, we do several segments on here, man, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna kick it off with the first segment, and we'll try to incorporate New York Knicks information inside of these segments. So what I do is we got a news and rumor segment where we go over like, who's out, who's in, any rumors like that. And we do previous game reviews where we talk about the last game, and then we talk about the opponent review. So there we could talk about what you think the Mavericks could do to beat you, or what I think the Knicks will do to beat us, and things like that. So you'll see these segments as we go along. So let's go ahead and let's kick it off with the news and rumors segment. All right, what you think about that, Freezie? Kind of cool, huh? Kind of cool.
Yeah, that was dope,
thing.
bro.
Yeah,
that's
man,
dope.
Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it. We came a long way, came a long way. Last year I was
felt
just
like
doing
it was
live.
CNN, bro. I was like, I felt like I was on CNN just now, man.
Appreciate it, man. Grant Afseth, man, he is one of the great Mavs writers, reporters, all that. He's really good at his what he does. Very how would I put it? Just on top of reporting the information to us. Unlike the actual organization, they don't report any information to us. Grant Williams is available to play against the New York Knicks, where Luka Doncic, Dante Exum, Derek Lively, and Maxi Kleber are all out. And unfortunately, that's tough when you're losing three great players and one player that should no longer be a Maverick. But as far as the New York Knicks, is there anyone that is not going to be playing tonight, or is the whole squad healthy tonight?
Not that I know of. When I checked last, I didn't see anything alarming. I'm gonna double check really quickly though. But let me, if I could speak to the Mavericks thing just really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, the Luka thing is, all you could do is. We played Dallas without Luka, right? But I'm especially glad that we're not going to see Derek Lively, man. That kid is going to be a problem in the NBA, man. I think that dude is going to be almost Chet Holmgren type rookie without all the hype. Without all the hype that goes with it. So of course, the only injury we have listed is Mitchell Robinson is being out, but we knew he was out. He's been out for about 4 or 5 weeks, so no big deal there. And
does
sorry.
he have a chance of coming back, or is that just kind of through the some rumors that he might come back?
That's the rumor, right? But we don't know. Organizations get so secret squirrel with some stuff, and then over the top gossipy with other stuff. So we don't know for sure if Mitch is going to come back.
Right.
But Isaiah Hartenstein has been playing like a man in Mitchell Robinson's absence. So whether Mitch comes back early or on time or later than expected, we still have a guy at center capable of holding it down. And quite frankly, we've been playing better with Mitch out. So there's that.
Yeah. Isaiah Hartenstein, man, he's pretty nice. Pretty nice to have it must be nice to have a decent, reliable, and stand-up backup center there, man. Like that must be a luxury to have, Like I wish the Mavericks had something like that,
Is it too early to start bashing Jason Kidd, or should I wait till later?
No. It's more, look.
Good.
I'll tell you this much. I'll say it real quick. Jason Kidd favors my brother. My brother, bald head, just like him, he favors him. And so for the longest, I'm a Jason Kidd fan. Saw him, knew that he was with the Mavericks. He got picked by the Mavericks, won a championship with us. Great player, Hall of Famer, top 75, all that good stuff. And I respect all that. But man, I've been holding back from not wanting him as our head coach, and it has reared a ugly head this year, man. And this year is just. I've lost all patience with his rotations, with certain decisions he makes, and I know throughout Holmes. The league, man. Oh my God, Come
on, man.
There's a lot of dialogue with that. People say crazy things to me because I defend the idea that Rashawn Holmes is better than Dwight Powell, but doesn't get the long leash that Dwight Powell gets, doesn't get the rope and the wiggle room that Dwight Powell gets, and he's not able to show you what he could do whenever he is fully enthralled into the system and all that good stuff. But it's a long conversation. But I wanted to show you something. I don't know if you remember this from last year. Do you remember the Luka Doncic 60, 21, and 10?
I don't recall.
No,
I can't say that I remember that.
Yeah,
I can't say that I remember maybe him getting a tip in at the buzzer. I can't just send the game to overtime. Yeah, I can't say if I recall Quentin Grimes not boxing him out on a rebound to send the game to overtime. I don't remember that at all.
That had to be one of the craziest experiences for a Knicks fan, because y'all were up 9 with like 30 seconds left. I'm over there. I was listening to you live as the game was going on. And I'm like, man, we really about to lose this. And then here comes this comeback, and I'm like, what the hell has just happened? So I wish Luka would have been playing tonight, because it would have been fun to see him go against Jalen Brunson. This is a return back to Dallas by Jalen. So I imagine he's going to be coming out, balling out, ready to go. But yeah, it kind of the matchup and the hype does take a little bit of a hit, but again, it is going to be a Jalen Brunson show. What do you think Jalen Brunson is going to give the Mavs tonight, man?
30 and 13.
I'm glad you said that, 'cause I took his double-double on a parlay. So
yeah, about 30 and 13. And it's nothing to do with a pseudo rivalry or you and I knowing each other and just ribbing each other, throwing jabs at each other, friendly. Nothing like that. I just think one of the best perimeter defenders is out, and Dante Exum, right? Are you going to ask Seth Curry, Kyrie, and the other guards to defend Jalen Brunson? If so, we kind of like that matchup right now, only because we're healthy. Only because we're healthy, right? Yeah. My thing is this for both sides. I hope the Knicks blow Dallas out early, and both sides get to rest their players. That's what I'm hoping for.
I appreciate that the mercy you show us, because I feel like it is going to be a blowout tonight, and I want Jalen Brunson to be in there long enough for my parlay, but I also want Jalen Brunson to get his lick back, whatever revenge he needs to get off his chest, because I need this season to the point where the Mavericks are healthy, so we can move forward, man. Because we're having this horrible injury bug, and I'm about to show you some stats here in a second when we get to like the opponent review, but it's been crazy. So I see I got a couple of comments here. Let's get into the comments real quick and just get caught up with everybody in here. And let's start off with a super chat. Salute to Malcolm, my guy. I don't have my soundboard because I can't use it right now, but appreciate the donation, man. He said, I know this is basketball, but real quick, who do y'all have making it to the Super Bowl? Who you got, Freezie?
I'm gonna say Dallas and Baltimore.
Ooh.
Right, the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. And if Dallas can run the football against the Ravens, because we know Dak can throw it, right? We know Dak can pass. I'm gonna say Dallas will win the Super Bowl if they can run the football. If they can't, then the Ravens are gonna win a slobber knocker, probably like 22-14 or something like that.
Freezie, you do know what'll happen if the Cowboys win the Super Bowl, right? Like
the same thing that happened if the Knicks win the NBA Finals. The same thing, brother. Trust me. I know this, bro. I promise you.
You know it.
And for the record, full disclosure, I'm a Chicago Bears fan, so no, I'm not being homerific for the Cowboys. Just for the record.
Got it. Now, betting odds would say 49ers and Ravens. Those are the colors of the Super Bowl, unironically. But I feel like this is the best chance the Cowboys have. So I'm going to be a homer and roll with the Cowboys. And I agree with you. I think the Ravens are going to make it too, man. Yeah. You look at the AFC, who's going to beat them, right? If Lamar Jackson can play great under the bright lights, because he hasn't had the greatest record under the bright lights, especially in the playoffs. He is MVP. He's going to be MVP again. And I think it's time for him to take his team to the Super Bowl, just like I think it's time for Dak to take his team to the Super Bowl as well. And that would be a fun Super Bowl, man. That would be a very Super Bowl.
And the reason why I didn't pick the 49ers just to I think if they catch a weird matchup like Detroit or somebody, if they catch a weird pass-heavy matchup, I think they can knock off the 49ers. Right? But I don't think Detroit can beat Dallas, though.
I hope Brock Purdy just has a what is it, like a bad game that he had against the Eagles last year against the Cowboys. Like, he's due for one.
Yeah,
we got to get one against the Niners, man. We already gave them 2 wins in the playoffs. They owe us one.
Yeah. The ideal situation is one of those other teams knocking off the 49ers and then Dallas having a cakewalk to the Super Bowl. That would be the ideal situation, right? But first they have to get past Green Bay first. So first things first.
Kind of like the Spurs in 2003, and Richard K says, TGK, hopefully the heads in the know are wrong on our trade targets for tonight. We have a sluggish chance as always.
Right.
A sluggish chance, yeah. I mean,
because Kyrie is available, right?
Yes, he is.
And you guys have a sluggish. Yep, I agree.
Yeah. You got a little puncher's chance there. Matthew says, TGK, will Nico make a trade? It's a yes or a no? I believe it's a yes, and I don't know if it's going to be a big one. It might be one just like on the edges, just to improve a backup position or two at the very minimum. But if he comes off with a home run, then who knows? I really don't know what to expect and what they're going to do at this point, to be honest. But I hope they do something. I do hope so.
I say yes. I say yes. I think it'll come down to what Dallas values more, the present or the future, right? And I say that saying, if you're Nico, do you value these prime years of Luka, or do you look to replenish the future and maybe bring in more Derek Lively's, more young players to backfill the rotation to help Kyrie and Luka, have them lead that? But if it were me, I would value the present. I would go ahead and make the trade for a DeMar DeRozan type player. So, and I know he might not be the ideal fit, but right now the West is an arms race, and Dallas needs more talent. You can't fight the Denver Nuggets with Seth Curry type players.
Huh. That's interesting. I have not thought of DeRozan at all. He cost me a parlay last night, so I'm a little jaded. But he is a great player in his role. I just don't know if that like, I'm thinking of like contender moves, right? And DeRozan, I have to think on that one a little bit more because
you're thinking about the present, right?
Right.
Instead of the future, right.
Yeah. King said, Ocha says, what up, y'all? Go Mavs. Go Mavs. Well, what is a percentage? I put a poll up here what people thought the Mavs percentage chance of winning tonight, and we got 36% of the people saying 55%. That's a lot higher than I would have imagined, but it is only 36% of the people.
Right.
King's in the building. He said, what up, TGK? What up, Freezie? Free bingo space. That is us, the Mavericks tonight.
The Mavericks.
Do you have a team that you consider like a free bingo space for the Knicks? Like, you just know you're gonna beat them every time? And who is that team?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh wow.
No, because we don't have a generational talent like you guys have.
Okay.
So in the case where you have a generational talent, your generational talent can wake up out of its sleep and do a 60-point triple-double on a Saturday afternoon on the East Coast, right? Like Luka did against us, right? Like you guys are not on Eastern Standard Time, right? Had to fly all the way to New York, play in the middle of the day on a Saturday, and your best player gets a 60-point triple-double. And see, our best player on a nightly basis kind of flip-flops between Randall and Jalen Brunson.
And now it might be OG. We're going to get the OG here in a second. For the Mavericks, our free bingo space, which I am not ashamed to say this, I've been saying this all year, it's the Phoenix Suns. I think whenever the Mavericks see the Suns, it's Luka's party, man. He just turns it up to a whole nother level. So Just FYI, if you ever want to set a parlay and the Mavs take on the Suns, just pick the Mavs, man. It's a guaranteed win. K Choice says, "What up, Mav Nation? What's up, K Choice?" Gina Kim says, "Hey TGK, I have no confidence we'll win this game. I know Kai will be fine, but I don't see anyone stepping up to help him. Maybe Hardy, but other than that, we'll need a miracle to win." Agreed, man. All right, let's go ahead and let's get into the previous game review. So, Freezie, if you don't mind touching on the previous game here in a second, and I'll bring up some of our stats. But let's go ahead and let's hit this little signature and let's get to it. All right, Freezie. All right, so
that was fantastic, bro. your graphics person needs a raise, bro.
You know, it's we could talk offline. Right. So let me bring up the New York Knicks here. As long as my computer will participate and allow me to select them, there they go. So who was the last game y'all had? Y'all are on a 5-game winning streak, man. Y'all are beating the Timberwolves, Bulls, 76ers, Wizards, and the Trailblazers since acquiring OG. What insight can you give us since this trade, and what did y'all look like in the last game that you took away from that?
So we're in that weird space of we played a couple of great teams, and we played 2 or 3 really poor teams, right? Mm-hmm. So against the great teams, i.e. the Timberwolves and the Sixers, man, we beat the brakes off the Sixers, bro. I think what happened with the Sixers is they took us lightly, and by the time they recognized it was a game, they were already defeated.
A little too
late. Yeah. So, in the Timberwolves game, I think the trade energy, you know, how you
8-7, 8 on the shot clock, rather. Even Chinzo on the fade, loose ball.
Let me see. Oh, okay. All right. The ESPN interrupting. Yeah, but at the Timberwolves game, we got that energy, you know, that wind beneath your wings after a trade. You know how you make the trade and everybody's feeling good and everything. So that happened in that Timberwolves game where we got that new player energy.
Scramble, picked up Brunson, feeds it inside on the back door. Oh, the reverse jam!
On the glass, Knicks getting second opportunity, and there Anunoby, the beneficiary.
Dribble drive. Here's Julius with the extra pass. Anunoby. Nicely done by Brunson to dump it down.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, ESPN is. Yeah, you might have to mute the web.
Oh, I know what. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
There we go. My fault.
ESPN jumped in and, but yeah. So we beat a couple of great teams. We demolished 2 or 3 trash teams. And so it has us playing with, now we're playing with confidence. And so we're at that stage. You know, when you win about 4 or 5 in a row, you feel like you can go on a run. So we're at 5 in a row, and no disrespect to Dallas, but we're feeling like we're at a stage where we can go on a run. So, but of course the Mavericks will have something to say about that.
Maybe. In the last game, Randall had 20 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Wow. OG, 23 points, a plus 26 against the Trailblazers. We in Dallas, we hate playing the Trailblazers because they've hurt a player of ours in 3 of the 4 games. One of them due to our own player, but it felt like a curse playing them. So thankfully, y'all left that game unscathed. But man, y'all got a backup center giving you 14 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block, 3 assists.
Right.
Jalen Brunson with only 12 points, and y'all won by almost 40.
With Derek Lively out, you can expect this guy to get about 20 rebounds.
Freezie, I have a double parlay with Hartenstein, Brunson, and Kyrie, and I forgot who else. I think I also have one on a separate one with Randall. I just feel like these guys are gonna get to like double status in the first half.
Right.
We have, for lack of a better term, no paint defense at all, bro. Like we don't. And we could not guard Desmond Bane 1-on-1. And if we couldn't guard Desmond Bane 1-on-1, there's 100% likely that we cannot guard Brunson 1-on-1. What were you gonna say?
Right. I don't know if you guys noticed that this is a trend, but it is for us. We noticed that Julius Randle in Dallas goes off in Dallas versus the Mavericks, right?
Yep.
So I think you can expect Julius Randle to have a some type, unless the game is such a blowout that. But if it's a fairly competitive game, you can expect Randle to get like 35 and 17 or something crazy. Because so he's from Dallas, and we call these games the Julius Randle Revenge Tour, right here. like the teams that slighted Randle in some type of way, like the Pelicans, the Lakers, and Memphis. Teams that don't respect Randle, he generally goes off against them. He usually goes off against Zion. He usually goes off against Memphis. He goes off against Dallas for some reason. I don't know what the beef is with that. I think it's maybe something to prove in his hometown or something.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's also a thing with Desmond Bane. Every time he plays us, it's he's a top 5 player in the league, and he gets a supermax.
He's from Texas, right?
He's literally from down the street, man. He played at TCU in Fort Worth.
Right.
So we I think we had a maybe 2 chances to select him in the draft, and we passed on him, unfortunately. And so him, Randall, at one point it used to be LaMarcus Aldridge. He's like literally 20 minutes up the road from here. He played at Seagoville. So I don't know what it is about these players always wanting to stick it to the Mavs, but it is what it is. And unfortunately tonight, I think Kyrie should be able to put up a good fight. To keep the team competitive, probably up until the middle of the second, maybe the beginning of the third. But after that, I think it'll be a little bit too much for the Mavs to overcome against the Knicks.
He's a Knick killer, bro. He's gonna kill us. We don't have a guy that can guard him.
As far as the Mavericks, the last game we got bullied, we got battered and butchered against the Memphis Grizzlies with no Ja Morant, no Jaren Jackson Jr., no Steven Adams, no Marcus Smart got hurt in the middle of the game, and we still got destroyed. And Luka had a rough game, man. He's nursing a ankle injury. He went to the back 2 times and still came into the game. At a certain point, we should have just sat him, and we didn't. Kyrie, man, 33 points, 4 steals, 4 assists, 8 rebounds, 1 block. He is like our stretch 4 at the point guard position, which is sad. But it is true. He did out-rebound our starting center, Dwight Powell, by 4 extra rebounds.
Really?
How embarrassing is that? Yes.
No way.
Very much so. It's a trend. It is a trend.
No, there's no way Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving is averaging more rebounds than our current starting center.
There's no way that happened.
It is.
Did he leave the game? Was he injured?
No. He's our starter. He plays the games. He don't average many rebounds, man, and I think I'm just a degen at this point, but I took his under 17.5 PRA, which is point rebounds and assists. I'm like, there's no way Dwight gets to that point, but yeah, man. I think for the Mavericks, we need to prioritize getting a backup big, so whenever Derek Lively needs a breather or whatever the case may be, we won't be struggling as far as not having a backup center. And I think that's a big issue for the Dallas Mavericks that we're trying to address, is just having a backup big that's reliable, man. And
Andre Drummond
just don't happen to have that. Andre Drummond, I think Chicago, they think they could be competitive again. I think with Levine back, I think they're winning more often than losing, and I'm not sure if they're willing to sell their team right now. So I had no idea. Chicago's weird. I don't know why they haven't pulled the trigger.
I think it's fit. I think it's winning, but not competitive. That's what I think they're doing.
They need to sell while they have assets before they can't get anything for them, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that was the previous game. So let me read a few comments, and then we'll go into the opponent review, man, where we get into more items as far as the teams are concerned. I got my homie Richard up in here. He says TGK never feared Dwight, and AJ Lawson can handle the Knicks. I don't know about AJ Lawson.
Okay.
You might see him tonight. He's I think he wears number 9. Got some braids. He's an effort guy, man. Plays really good defense. You could tell like he just
AJ Lawson is a game cop. I know. I watched him in college. He's a game cop.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's an athlete.
Yeah, he's nice, man. He's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
reminds
think he
you
gets enough opportunity.
He reminds me of, oh geez, I forgot his name. I see his face, but he was also a Gamecock. It's 6'6" athlete. But yeah, how does he fit next to Josh Green though?
How would I put it? Like you got these players like AJ Lawson that when he's in the game, you wonder why he's not playing more, because on certain nights it feels like he has more impact on the team in terms of winning and making winning plays is more than Josh Green, right? And Josh Green's supposed to be better. Josh Green's been having a rough season this year. Dante Exum's been out of the league for forever and came back, and he is 100% bona fide better than Josh Green. And you just kind of look at that and you're just like, all right, so we got players that can play better than some of these players, but we don't play them enough because they're two-way players. It just how does he look next to him? In the few minutes that I've seen them next to each other, they look good. Obviously, you're gonna have two decent perimeter defensive players out there getting steals or whatnot. So they could run. They could definitely run. AJ Lawson could run. But they do look nice. We just haven't seen enough of them. And when I show you like our 5-man lineups, you're gonna see a huge difference from your 5-man lineups with the Knicks versus our 5-man lineups with the Mavs. You'll be shocked at what I'll show you here in a second, man.
Okay.
Gav says, TGK Nation, what up? Love the light. Love and light to you all. Appreciate it, Gav, my guy from
Appreciate that, Gav.
From London up in here. Richard K's 42, 8, and 5 for JB, and the middle finger to the Cuban. Yeah. Cuban deserves it for saying those slick things he said about when the parents got involved.
About their really, Mark Cuban parents should not be concerned about their children. Right. Come on, Mark Cuban, you sounded like a jerk. Come on, you gotta relax, bro.
You know, I'm glad you said that, because the other day Rashawn Holmes didn't get put in a game that he was needed in because we were getting out physical bully balled, and he didn't get put in the game. And his I believe his family and his mom or his parents were on Twitter talking about, this is just crazy that he doesn't get time, and they were upset. They were voicing their opinion, and people were killing them because they were voicing it. Like, bro, like that's his family. They want to see him play. Like, why would you get upset that they want to see their guy play basketball? Like, at that point, like no opinion matters at that point. This is what they want for their kid, man.
And they're actually rooting for the team to be better with their son in the game.
Yep.
Yeah, that's bizarre, bro. That's bizarre.
And so now there's certain Maverick pundits that want to send him to the moon or trade him to the moon. And it reminds me of the Christian Wood saga where
Christian Wood.
Like Christian Wood's giving you 20 and 7 as a starter, but we don't want him. Like, it just blows my mind. We have Grant Williams giving us goose eggs. So it is what it is, right? It is. I'm just a casual Freezie. Nick says that if the Cowboys win the Super Bowl, that means we are back in the correct timeline.
Right.
I've never got to see a Super Bowl. I am old enough to live during that time span, but I don't remember seeing them. So I would love to see one.
I was living in Texas during that time.
Really?
Yeah, I was stationed at Fort Hood, Texas during that time. Yeah. I remember when the Cowboys lost in '91 to the Lions, and they were so upset because they felt like they were ready, and then they went on a stretch where it was all Cowboys. All the ESPN loved the Dallas Cowboys at that time, man. Emmitt Smith can do no wrong. I saw Emmitt Smith push a nun down on the ground, and they arrested the nun. What are you doing, hurting Emmitt Smith's hands? What are you doing, hurting Emmitt Smith's hands?
Yeah. That sounds about Dallas. That sounds about right.
Cowboys Nation is rabid, bro.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Rel's in the building. He says, "Fellas, salute. What's up, Rel? As always." All right, man. Let's go ahead and let's get to the next segment. And this next segment, I think you'll like this graphic as well. This is the opponent review, where we get into the nitty-gritty of our opposing teams. Let's get to it.
How you want it? Show me my opponent. Show me my opponent.
Yes, sir.
Wow, your graphics guy needs a raise, bro. Please, bro. Whoever's doing your graphics, bro, we got to high five them, a cash app them, or something, man.
I'll tell you offline. How we did that.
Oh, you have an elf. You have an elf working behind the scenes with a magic wand.
We got something that back there. We got something. So this is the advanced lineups, right? I can't deal with ESPN no more because it just throws my whole laptop off kilter. So we're just gonna go straight into the advanced lineups. And this is where we get to see what these 5-man lineups have been looking like. Wow. This is the Knicks, the New York Knicks 5-man lineups. Freezie, y'all have only 6 pages of 5-man lineups.
Right.
You know how good that is?
Yeah.
That means continuity.
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 Yeah.
Oh, my God. Look at this. Y'all have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lineups that have over 100 minutes together on the court and almost a 5th one. That's beautiful. As a fan, if my team could ever do that, I'd be so happy. And what I like to look for here, Freezie, I like to identify a 5-man lineup that has a really good net rating, a good defensive rating, and to kind of like look forward to the game to see, all right, whenever this lineup comes in, watch out, right? Like this is one of their best lineups, and if we're already down and they come in, they could push the lead and make it even more difficult for us, right? So, just by looking at this, obviously OG is not going to be in most of these because he just got there. But what's crazy is, look at this. He just got there, and he's already got 84 minutes with the starters. That's crazy. Yeah. Randall, OG, Harkenstein, Brunson, and DiVincenzo, 84 minutes, 125 offensive rating, 104 defensive rating, a plus rating of 20.9. Freezie, talk to us. Talk to us about this lineup right here.
So without being disrespectful to my squad, what I want to say is it is both great and a small sample size at the same time. Mm-hmm. Right? So we're talking about maybe 4 or 5 games, maybe 5 games with the starters playing together. And they're trying to figure out some stuff. But then at the same time, in that 5-game stretch, we have played the Chicago Bulls, who of late have been better, but had been terrible. And we played them without Zach LaVine and Vucevic. Right? And then we also beat a Washington Wizards team that is probably more like the Washington Generals. And then we also played Portland, who's trash. I spoke to Rel of We Talk Mavs yesterday about teams that have former star point guards as their head coach and why those teams struggle. And Portland has a former star point guard coach and his team is struggling.
Yeah.
Now, Dallas, I know this might not fit for you, but former star point guards have this weird Napoleonic complex where they feel like they're absolutely always right. They tend to do bizarre stuff that makes you scratch your head, and they treat you as if you don't know what you're thinking is wrong at times. That's Chauncey Billups, right?
That's Jason Kidd.
that's Chauncey Billups. That is a bunch of guys around Jack Vaughn with Brooklyn. That is a bunch of teams. Rick Carlisle. I don't know if y'all are familiar with him. Yeah, he could be puzzling at times, right? You remember Scotty Brooks from the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Yep.
A bunch of these point guards that played in the league, they puzzle you. So when we played Portland, they did things that were perplexing. You're like, why are you doing this, Chauncey? Right? Like, okay, like you're getting blown out. Why are you still playing veterans? Shouldn't you rest the legs of the veterans and play the kids? No, we're not going to do that. We're going to drive home a lesson to the kids that they have to earn their minutes.
Freezie. The other day against the Memphis Grizzlies, Jason Kidd, while we were down by quite a bit, instead of noticing that we were getting out physicaled and bullied, guess what he did? He put in a super thin 5-man lineup out there of like Seth Curry, Luka, Kyrie, Josh Green, and I think Derrick Jones Jr. was our 5. Derrick Jones Jr. is thin. And he put them out there, and there was people telling me, "Oh, well, you do that to shoot yourself back into the game." I'm like, no, I understand.
No, you
when
do not
you
with
do,
Derrick Jones Jr.
Right, you do a small ball 5 when you're going against a center like Rudy Gobert, right? You got to get them out in space. This team, they were bullying us with their point guards, with their shooting guards, and their small. We were getting bullied by everybody on the court. It wasn't we need to go small ball to spread out these centers so they can, open up the paint. Obviously, that would make sense then. It made absolutely no sense why we went small ball versus Memphis, because what we needed more muscle to prevent so many offensive rebounds. I believe they got like 20 offensive rebounds in that game, or probably more. And we needed someone to grab a board, and we just couldn't. We couldn't grab a board. So, yeah, to your point, these point guard coaches, Jason Kidd is a living example of everything you just said.
Your Nate McMillans. Yeah.
Yeah, damn, good point.
Yeah, man.
You hit the nail right on the head with all of that, man. That is crazy. But I guess that's a good point.
Your Doc Rivers never confused you.
Oh my God, that is a good point. Jesus.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. Is Steve Kerr the anomaly, or is it just because he's had great
Steve
talent?
Kerr Steve Kerr, Tyronn Lue are the anomalies.
Gotcha. Tyronn Lue, I like Tyronn Lue.
Yeah.
I know there's some people that criticize him, but I think he's nice. I do think he's nice.
But he and the only reason why they are different is because at least when they do something that challenges your intellect, they explain it to the fans. Right. Tyronn Lue will explain it. He explained when they beat us in overtime last year. He explained why he put Nicholas Batum at the 5 against us. He said basically, and the Knicks were down, or the Knicks were up late. The Knicks put Randall at the 5, and so we matched that with Nicholas Batum, and Nicholas Batum wound up hitting the 3 to send the game into overtime. So Tyronn Lue explained that, right? Steve Kerr. Man, listen, Steve Kerr's resume speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Right? And his resume speaks for itself. But Chauncey Billups?
Oh, no.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying.
So, all right. So, y'all's 5-man lineups, man, they look chef kiss, man. They look great. You want to see the Dallas Mavericks 5-man lineups?
Yeah, of course I do.
Check this out. The Mavericks have 15 pages worth of 5-man lineups. We have not one 5-man lineup with 100 minutes together. Look at this. We have 36 minutes, 34, 33.
Wait, are y'all breaking in rookies? Is that what y'all do? Are y'all playing a lot of rookies?
No, I think what happened is
you had a lot of turnover in the offseason?
We did. We did have a bit of turnover, but it is no excuse because you just got OG 5 games ago and you already almost have 100 minutes together, right?
Right.
With Jason Kidd, we started Maxi Kleber as our center to start the season. We didn't start Dwight or Lively, right? Lively became our starter the second game. So the idea of this next man mentality for the Mavericks, I understand the players bought into it. Grant Williams, he had an interview the other day where he was like, this is mentality we carry. I'm like, I get that we've won games despite the way it looks. We have a decent record despite how everything looks, and that's just because of the greatness of Luka, right? And the emergence of Lively and having Kyrie as well. But we just lack this continuity that we just can't get to. We have injuries. We do have rookies. However, Jason Kidd hasn't been able to find a lineup that he could stick to, obviously because of those parameters. But there was a point where he could have just stuck to a specific lineup.
I don't know. That's confusing. Is he in his second year with the Mavs?
He's in his third, and he has not been extended. So.
Yeah, he's in his third year and can't find a consistent lineup. That's confounding. I don't want to speak to that because I don't know, but that is disturbing to hear. So
yeah, and then are these lineups that you see out here, we won't even be able to see any of these lineups tonight because. Again, no Luka Doncic just really throws off all of these potential lineups that you see here. So again, you're gonna see a brand new team tonight in the Dallas Mavericks because who knows who the hell Jason Kidd ends up starting tonight.
So you'll have even more lineups on this page tomorrow,
right? It'll probably go up to 16 tomorrow.
Right.
We'll be at 16 pages worth of 5-man lineups, man. It's been how would I put it? It's one of those things like we're happy that we're winning this season, but it's been like a dogfight for the whole year. Like we started out great. I think we were 9-3 to start the year. Then after that, we just been 500, and I'm pretty sure.
So it feels like getting socks for Christmas. You're excited about getting a Christmas gift, but you got socks.
we beat the Minnesota Timberwolves, get blown out by the Memphis Grizzlies. We beat the Golden State Warriors, get blown out by almost 50 to the Utah Jazz. Who else? We beat another team.
I watched that game, by the way.
That horrible. Jordan Clarkson with a triple dub. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's get some comments here in this for a quick little second. Again, I will be live all the way up until tip off. We got a couple of minutes. We got a couple more segments to get to. We got referees of the game. I might skip over unders, and then we'll get to the game prediction, Freezie. So we got 3 more little segments to get to. Again, the whole idea of this pregame show is just to kind of kill that hour prior to the game, just to get people to the game, man. That way they're fully informed as much as.
Are you gonna do the game on playback, or are you just gonna watch the game?
I joined We Talk Mavs playback TV. They have a playback on the We Talk Mavs.
So you're gonna be in on with King Kai?
Yeah, I'll be in there.
Okay, I might come through and just and thumb my nose at Mavs fans just for tonight. Tomorrow we'll be cool again, right?
Right. Nick says, since you brought up the previous game, please take into account how awful Luka played. He took so many bad shots that stopped the momentum. He needs to learn how to play off ball. That too, I think whenever Luka is hobbling, he just starts chunking stuff up, man. And I know people may be scared to criticize him. I know the team might be scared to tell him to sit down. You're done for the night because you're hurt. And we didn't do that. We allowed this man to go to the locker room twice, and we still allowed him to play. At a certain point, you got to protect your superstar, generational talent from himself, right? And Luka didn't look great, and that's what I mean. Like Luka's one of those ballers that just wants to hoop, whether he's hurt or not. He's obviously proven that. He's played 6 consecutive years where he plays the summer. He just plays basketball nonstop. Right. I think his body is like at the age of a 32-year-old just because of how much basketball he's had. And he's only 24. And so I think the Mavericks do need to find a better way to get him healthy. And who knows how long he's going to be out now with this ankle issue, this quad issue, his shoulder issue. He got all sorts of issues. It's tough, man.
May I say something to the Luka thing?
Go ahead.
Mavericks fans, y'all got to relax. Chill out. Luka is on pace to be a top 8 NBA player of all time. Right now, I can make the case that he is the greatest Dallas Maverick ever. And I was a little kid when the Mavericks got their expansion team. I remember Rolando Blackman. I remember Mark Aguirre. I remember James Donaldson, Dale Ellis, Detlef Schrempf. I remember Ricky Pierce, all these people, right? Ricky Pierce, maybe not for the Mavericks. I think Ricky Pierce may have been somewhere else. It sounds like he should have been there. But I remember Roy Tarpley, man. I remember the Tony Braxton Mavericks, right? I remember them, Kidd, Jim Jackson, Jamal Mashburn, right? Relax. This kid, Luka, I could take 2 great Mavericks, combine them together, and they are not as good as Luka. I can take Jamal Mashburn's career and Jason Kidd's career, and they are not as good as Luka Doncic is right now, right? Let the kid play. He's 24. He's going to be a Maverick for, 10 more years? He had one bad game.
This is where I push back a little bit. I think a lot of us have that sense of anxiety that, we're running against the clock, right? Because of this new player empowerment league, the likelihood of being able to keep him, those chances are a lot different than they were 10 years ago,
Right.
With Dirk, we were extremely spoiled with Dirk.
How many pay cuts did Dirk take to stay with the Mavericks?
So
many, right?
He could have made.
And how many championships did y'all win with Dirk?
1.
Is that Dirk Nowitzki's fault? No, it's not. Right?
Freezie. This is why I pull the curtain back a little bit, right? If there is anything to criticize Dirk, and forgive me for anyone in the chat, I love Dirk to death. I've always said this to my friends. If there's any little thing that you could criticize Dirk on, is that he didn't push or be more abrasive with the front office to get better players here. That was the one thing that he didn't participate like in the offseason recruiting, things like that. Nor did it seem like he pushed the franchise like, look,
was he all NBA on the floor?
All the time, man. I think Dirk is.
Did he ever do anything to sully the name of the Dallas Mavericks?
Never. If anything, he's what saved Mark Cuban.
He was an ideal player. He is the player that you want when you call somebody's name on draft night. You want them to be Dirk Nowitzki, right? 1,000%. And as a matter of fact, is it Dirk Nowitzki's fault that Mark Cuban let Steve Nash walk out the door? No, it's not.
Not at all.
It's not. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing today with Luka. Is it Luka's fault that Mark Cuban let Jalen Brunson walk out the door? No, it's not, man. So what I'm saying is when you have a generational talent, you need to cherish it, right? It's like Chicago Bulls fans back in the day were complaining that Derrick Rose was always getting hurt, right? And I'm explaining to Chicago Bulls fans, like, Michael Jordan had you guys spoiled. You think everything is gonna go your way? You gotta relax. These things happen. So what I'm saying to Mavericks fans is listen, man, cherish Luka, because when his career is over, you're not guaranteed to transition to the next generational talent. Because you guys basically, in theory, went from Dirk to Luka, right?
To Luka,
right. And so you're not guaranteed to transition from Luka to the next generational talent. It's not a given, right? It's look at the Green Bay Packers right now. They went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, right? And then they were like, man, we always have a quarterback. Now they have Jordan Love, and they're mad because the quarterback is not Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre. Man, cherish Luka while you got him, y'all.
No, for sure. I just think a lot of us, we're just a little bit nervous about the potential of the front office not doing what they need to do. So a lot of us, we really try to voice our opinions of this front office, be that rabid fan base to like get these things right for the Mavs, because that ultimately leads to keeping Luka, right? So that's where we're at, you know. So before we get to the next segment, shout out to Giovanni Ramirez, says, need the hat, bro. Check the description below. The product should be there where you get this hat. There's different versions of them. Let me see what else. Read a couple more comments up in here. I already read that one. Where are we at? And trying to keep up with comments is crazy. Pasquale, what's up, man? He says, if we need to play more bigs, play Holmes. I don't like that some in the media are using last season numbers to discount him. Look at his career. He's a professional that could help. Exactly. He's only getting, when he does play, he's only played 17 games, 10 minutes in those games, and his numbers are right there with Dwight Powell, who Dwight Powell averages 6 more minutes a game and has played 18 more games. So, come on now. My guy Dave in the building, he says Josh Green masterclass on the way. And he's saying that in coy. He's saying that, and he's saying that sarcastically. 1,000%. Gina Kim says, I really hope Siakam doesn't go to the Warriors. How much help does Curry need? But I have a feeling we're not getting him. I still trust Nico, but I'm not sure it'll be for someone good. Yeah, I don't know how we get Pascal without sending just complete trash to them. But I hope we find a way. I think that would solidify.
I hope not, bro. I hope y'all don't get Siakam. And no disrespect to the Mavs or Siakam, but I think if you guys get Pascal Siakam, Jason Kidd is immediately moving him to the 5, and it's going to limit the development of Derek Lively after you guys saw flashes, right? Coaches that are brainiacs, bro. These dudes that think they are smarter than the rest of the entire universe do stupid stuff like that, bro.
Man, you know, Freezie, I would. That's the scary part about getting players to the Mavericks is that you have this guy, Jason Kidd, right there. Can you trust Jason Kidd for him to use the team correctly? And that's a good point. I didn't even consider that. Like, I thought you just put him at the 4, right? It makes sense. I would hope Jason Kidd wouldn't make that decision, but that's a good point that I feared and didn't think about. All right, man, we're running against the time, so let me go ahead and let's get straight into this NBA referee review of tonight.
Technical foul.
right, man. All right. So these are the referees of tonight. We got New York in Dallas, Texas. The crew chief is Bill Kennedy. The referee is Sean Wright. And the umpire is Daniel Scott. I'm pretty sure y'all are aware of Bill Kennedy. I think if I remember correctly, he's how would I put it? He's the one that really like explains like challenges and things like that. He's pretty funny. I like his style. So what I normally do here, Freezie, is I show what these referees, what their records are with the Dallas Mavericks. I could also try to pull it up for the Knicks. Let me just make sure this channel ain't got no sounds. That way it don't bother you. There we go. Take this off. There we go. All right, so let's look for Bill Kennedy. Bill Kennedy right here. Bill Kennedy, he is 3-0 with the Dallas Mavericks. We've gotten 19 personal fouls called on us, where the opponents had 23 foul calls called on them. And he's been giving us 7 more free throw attempts. So there's something about the Mavericks he liked. Obviously, 3-0, favoring the calls there. Sean Wright. Let's see what Sean Wright has been doing. Sean Wright. He is 1-1 with the Mavs. 19 personal foul calls to the opponent's 20. So he's calling it a little bit more down the middle. So there goes that. And then the last person, it is Daniel Scott. Daniel Scott. I'm not sure if she's I'm pretty sure it's a she. Has called a Dallas Mavericks game yet, because I have not seen that name. Daniel Scott. I see Kevin Scott, but I don't see Daniel Scott. I don't. So, I do. 1-0 with the Mavs. 15 foul calls on us. 28 foul calls on the opponent. Right. Yeah, talk about favoring a team. Sheesh. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. Let me see if I could find the New York Knicks. Let me see. New York Knicks referees. Basketball reference. So there's a whole big old search engine to try to see what there it goes. Found it. All right, let's see what the Knicks look like with these referees, man.
Okay.
So who was it? Bill Kennedy, right? So y'all are 2-1 with Bill Kennedy. About 18 foul calls on y'all with a 20 for the opponent. So he's a little bit more fair down the middle. The other guy, who was the other one? Oh, damn, I'm not even showing it on the page. My fault. Let me look. See, these are like the little minor technical difficulties sometimes, but it's not technical difficulties because it's right here. Here we go. The other referee is Sean Wright. So Sean Wright, let's see what he's done. Sean Wright, he is 1-1 with the Knicks. 17 foul calls on the Knicks, where there's 23 on the opponent. So he was more leaning against the Knicks opponent. And then Daniel Scott, I don't know if she's gonna pop. Oh, here goes 1-0 with the Knicks. All right, man. Okay. All right, we got referees that seem to it's gonna be like
fair.
Right down the middle. Yeah. Right down the middle. Nothing too egregious, other than that one game or that one ref. So there's that. We are cutting it real close. So the last 10 minutes, man, I give it to the whole predictions segment. So for those in the chat, if y'all could go ahead and get your game prediction score ready. Freezie, if you could get your game prediction score ready. And let's go ahead and let's get into that segment. And then we'll kind of put our scores together and see where we all were at. So let's get it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, man. I'm always just trying to improve the show, man. That's all I want to do is just improve the show, give something to the Mavs fans that just kind of have something that they can enjoy, man. Right. Whether we're playing good or playing bad. Again, if y'all haven't liked the video, definitely like the video. Salute to Freezie being here, man. Give it up to him. Appreciate you being here, man.
Yes, fans. Salute.
Yeah, definitely drop a like on the video, subscribe. Also check him out on Blorange Tears. Am I saying it right? Blorange or Blorange?
It's Blorange. Yeah, it's Blorange. Like blue and orange mixed together.
Blorange. There we go.
Blorange.
I thought it was like a nice little twang to like Blorange, but we'll go with Blorange.
Yeah, man.
All right, Blorange. Y'all go check him out, man. When I get a chance, man, I'll be on that Knicks drive, or Or join in on a freestyle, whatever the case may be, man. I definitely.
We're
venture
busy,
over there.
man. We're busy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I do one pregame show whenever the Mavs play. Other than that, I might do another stream, but you would really be busy, man. Salute to you, man.
Yeah.
All right, so here is the odds maker, the Vegas Insiders. They got the Knicks favored by 5, total score of 234, and all the sites seem to have the Knicks favored by 5 on the road, which is a good sign. Sometimes if you are the road opponent, you don't want to be favored by 1 because that means they still fear that the home team could pull it off. This is a pretty good. It's more like an 8-point swing to me. So 234 minus 5. Let me come up with my score here. Let me think. Think what the score gonna be like. So 234. Let me see. I like to write out my score and put it on the screen, and then we'll see what you got.
Okay.
I don't see the Mavs being able to score much tonight. Not like that to where you have Luka and it's a little bit different. You got Kyrie, and I feel like the Knicks could create a defense to just get the ball out of his hands and make the supporting cast beat them. I just don't see it happening per se, because I feel like Kyrie is going to give you what he could give you, keep you in the game. But when it comes down to it, I think the Knicks eventually are going to run away with this. So here is my prediction. My prediction is the Knicks 124 and the Mavs 108. Freezie, what you got?
About the same thing. Knicks winning by 16, but I have it 116-100.
Wow.
Yeah,
Look at us.
Look
at us.
Yeah, I have it 116,
almost there.
100. And the reason being is when Kyrie goes off the floor, who's gonna run the Mavs offense? I'm questioning that. So
there's gonna be the one thing to like look forward to in the game. That's why I like doing these shows. We talk about the game, and then we get to the game, and you're able to kind of see things come to light that you were able to kind of predict or see in the future. So we're gonna see tonight, man. My guy Joe in the building says Mavs PR machine was selling Dwight Powell and trashing Holmes today, per usual. There's a weird thing here, Freezie, where if there's a scapegoat that you can make out of a player, they're gonna do it. And right now, Rashawn Holmes is that guy when you got players on the team that play completely worse than what he gives you. But, neither here nor there. Right. Joe also says, please thank Uncle Freezie for his time from Mavs fans. Look at that.
No, thank y'all for having me. Thank y'all for having me and being gracious hosts, such graceful hosts. I feel totally comfortable here. A lot of you guys I've seen in other Mavs chats and here as well. And so it's an honor for me just to be here and kicking it with you guys. So
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Let's see if we got some score predictions here. We got Nick saying Knicks 135 to the Mavs 95.
Wow. Okay.
Woo! Yeah, man. Yeah,
wow.
we get some outrageous predictions up in here.
Yeah.
Div says 135-92.
Wow. Okay. I want to give you guys more credit than that, man.
Yeah, it is Kyrie, man. I think Kyrie will show a good fight, but I think the Knicks will be too much, especially with OG, man. Let me ask you this, because I've been like having I guess debates with other people, and I felt that the Knicks fully fleeced the Raptors. Where do you stand on that? And I'll give you my let me give you my take now, I guess. Okay. OG, I just think what OG is going to give you is going to be far more important when it comes time for the playoffs. I just think OG is a perfect playoff player for y'all, as opposed to RJ, because I from an outside perspective feel like he's been a bust as far as finding his role on the team, being able to like solidify a role on that team, and then quickly I feel like that was just kind of like the sacrifice to get OG. And now, I mean, obviously you're reaping the rewards from it. Now you're on a 5-game winning streak, and now the team is on the way. What are your thoughts on the trade, first of all, and what do you think the Knicks are going to look like going forward with him?
I think you guys are in a similar situation that we were in before we made the trade, where we have a clear deficit and need in a specific area, but we at the same time we had a surplus of players in other areas. And so all we did was take surplus in other areas to purchase something to fill a deficit, right? So whether it was, say, Grimes, DiVincenzo, and Josh Hart for OG Anunoby, or Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett for OG Anunoby, we had maybe 7 guys to fill 3 roles, right? But then we had a clear hole in the roster, right? And so we basically just took 2 guys and trimmed that number to 5 and brought in a guy that filled the deficit. And both sides to me are reaping the benefits. I think RJ scored 37 on Golden State the other night. Emmanuel Quickly had 30 or 25 last night. Yeah. So they're benefiting from getting young backcourt help, getting some help for Scotty Barnes, right? It makes the trade of Pascal Siakam easier, right? Because they'll probably get talent and picks for Pascal Siakam, and then it'll totally be RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes' team, right? Meanwhile, we needed an athletic wing player that can defend 2s, 3s, and 4s. We got one, and now you see what the team looks like. Now that deficit, that hole, that void is now filled. Just like when you guys take some of your surplus parts and trade for a guy to fill your deficit, this team will look light years better, because instead of having so many guys that guys are not getting regular minutes, when you trade those guys to fill that void that you have, then you're going to get the benefit of guys getting comfortable in their roles and that void being filled. So to sum it up without being long-winded, I think the trade was totally fair for both teams.
Hey, I appreciate that take, because I just feel like OG is just, it's different, man. It's different when you got a 6'8" guy that can do what he does, and it's like when for the Mavericks, if you could find a player that could replace a player that only plays one position, then your team just is a lot better, right? And OG could fill in so many roles. Ashley Johnson, what's up? She says Knicks 120, Mavs 101. Okay. Gina Kim says 126.
Ashley
118.
Johnson, is that my niece? I have a niece named Ashley Johnson that lives in Texas. Yeah.
It might be.
Hey, Miss Boca, Ashley is on the live stream.
Gina Kim says 126, 118 Knicks. I hope I'm wrong and it's the opposite, but good luck, Mavs. We're gonna need it. Pasquale says Knicks 125, Mavs 126 overtime. I'm always an optimist to a fault. I feel you, man. I feel you. Right. Kareem says 113, 112 Mavericks with a Luka buzzer. Kareem, Luka is not playing tonight, man.
Luka's gonna get out of his hospital bed, and
he's gonna get out of his
the legend of Luka grows.
Right. Like this legend, right? The 60.
Oh no, he did.
I had to get it in, man, before we get destroyed and demolished by the Knicks. 145-75 Mavs. Wow. Div says they fleeced us. Laugh my tail off. Let's be real. They won the big trade, and they have a chance next year if Luka wants out to make one of the best offers for him with all them picks. Oh, I guess this is where we get into like where we talk like a Luka trade. Right. I don't think that would ever be an equal trade for Luka if that ever came down.
Nobody in the league has enough for Luka
at all.
Right? Because if you think about it, Jokic, Embiid, Giannis are all about to turn 30, and Luka is better than all of them, and he's 24.
Yep.
Right? I wouldn't right now. I would not take Giannis and Damian Lillard for Luka right now. I wouldn't take Jamal Murray and Jokic for Luka right now. I'm sorry. I wouldn't take Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid for Luka right now. The dude's 24 and he is better than them already. Right? All Dallas needs to do is figure out a way to get talent in the door that fits Luka in a way. And basically what they have to look at Luka like is what if Larry Bird was on steroids? Right? What if Larry Bird took the super soldier serum? Right? That's Luka. Right? Now with that said, all you have to do is find Avengers to fill in around Luka. and they don't have to be great. There's an Avenger called Ant-Man, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to. There's a nerdy scientist that turns into a monster. So your Avengers don't have to be perfect, man. They just have to be Avengers.
Man.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Kareem says, "Oh damn, I just joined. I've been working all day. I had no clue. Yeah, Mavs are toast." Nick says, "Can you ask Freezie for his Cowboys Packers prediction? What you got, man?"
Cowboys 38, Packers 20.
I'll take it.
Yep.
All right, man. I think they're about to tip off over there in the American Airlines Center. Again, appreciate you, Freezie, for hopping on here, man. It's been a great stream. I think we killed it tonight, man.
Yeah, man.
Salute to you. Salute to everybody in the chat.
Salute to your chat, man, for being so loyal. I see, chat. I see y'all, man, in all the Mavs chats, man. Y'all are great fans, man. Y'all keep supporting the YouTubers that are creating this content for you guys. And y'all will continue to get great content, man. Thank you again for having me, bro.
Thank you, Freezie. All right, guys, let's go ahead and enjoy this game. And I think the next time the Knicks and the Mavs play, we got to do this again, Freezie. Hopefully Luka plays that game.
Hopefully not, but we'll see.
All right, guys, we're going to catch y'all on the next one. Enjoy the game. Luka 60.